All right, welcome back to the motive. A reason for doing something, especially one that is not obvious. Today, Dr. Briggs is in the house. We're talking about benefits of cash out refinance. Should you refinance to consolidate debt? And is it smart? Is it wise to use your equity to pay off debts? And we'll start with the top one here first. Benefits of a cash out refinance. Dr. Briggs.
Oh man,
You're the
doctor,
doctor, man. I'm
doctor.
going to call you the
All
doctor of
right,
loans and real estate.
loans and real estate. Poof. Well, in my professional opinion, should you uh, use your equity to pay off debt? 100%. Not just because we do this for a living.
Yeah,
The
let's
best.
have a conversation as like an educator's point of view, non-biased. If we're not in
Well,
the industry
I mean,
ourselves.
I could say 100%, but here's the thing. It's just like we talk to people every day. And when they come to you and they say, I've got this debt, what do you think I should do? And you tell them, and they go, I got to think about it. I just want you to think about if you went to your doctor and he said, I want you to take this medication so that you can get healthy. And you say, I got to think about it. You don't do that. You trust your doctor. So
You
Dr.
should
Briggs is
trust
in
your
the
doctor.
house. I need you to trust me on this one. This is not advice. This is a doctor's order. I'm writing a prescription for you to pay off your high credit debt with your equity. Why? Well, obviously, there's the first and foremost the benefit of the consolidated payments, right? You're going to take, you know, $600 or $800 worth of monthly payments, combine it with your mortgage. Your mortgage payment goes up a little bit, 200 or 300 bucks, but you raise say 800. Your net savings is 500. That's 6 grand a year back in your pocket. Plus, chances are you reduced the rate of interest because even though mortgage rates are 4 5 6%, your consumer credit debt is on a minimum what 10 12 20. I mean, it could be high, it could be 25%. So you see what those minimum payments get you on credit cards, they get you nowhere. So getting it into a mortgage, so you get the benefit of a consolidated payment for sure. You also get the tax advantage of taking non-tax deductible debt and converting it to tax deductible debt, right? So if it's a first mortgage and you're taking credit card, $30,000 worth of credit card debt that's not tax deductible, adding it to your mortgage, you pay more what? Mortgage interest. Your mortgage interest credit goes up, you get a higher tax deduction. I mean, I think that's always something people don't put much stock in, but it happens, and it's real, and it's a tangible benefit in savings. So I mean, I think right there, that's a good start. But you also have to think too. I mean, we have experienced appreciation in home equity, I would say nonstop since 2008. I mean, has it gone backwards at any point, Jared?
No, I don't
Since
think it
since
has.
'08. I mean, since the
Yeah, since
crash.
'08, since '08, I haven't seen it anywhere. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's
I saw
places that
some.
have skyrocketed 30% a year, and there's places like 3% a year, but it's still going up.
Right. So I saw some slow growth in 17, 18, but it was still like 3 and 5%, right?
Hmm.
Even during the slowest growth time. So if you think if you know that that's the case and your property is going to appreciate, and let's just say it's at 5% a year, and you have a $400,000 home, 5%, Jared, math, how much is that?
I don't
20,
know. Oh, okay.
20,000.
Thank you. I missed the
Okay.
first.
20 grand, I think, right?
Hold on.
5%.
Let me get the
With the
calculator out.
calculator, come on, the doctor's order. Here, we'll get the.
Doctor's orders. Love it.
It's let's see here. If your house is 400,000 and we go 5%, okay.
Yeah, 20 grand. 20
My
grand. There it
brain,
is.
today's the anniversary of my last brain surgery, so the fact that I got 20,000 right says a lot.
Hey,
Okay, so
happy
where I am going with this is here. If you know that on a conservative average, your home is going to appreciate 5% a year, and you consolidated $20,000 of consumer debt, but your house appreciates 5%. You actually earned all that equity back. So In 1 year's time, you gain back all the equity that you used to pay off your debt. Your house is an amazing tool, to leverage your asset to pay down your debt. So you're not
Mhm.
really losing ground. People are like, I don't want to, I don't want to put more money on the house, whatever. Well, you got to remember you pay it down every month in principal, right? So it's going down and it's a little at first, and then it gets bigger over time. But your property value is also increasing. So even if you add to this debt end of it, this continues to grow. And remember, every month you start bringing it right back down. As soon as you bring it up, you're bringing it down. Mind you, the market's going even at 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10%. Appreciation is going up. So you're retaining and growing your equity while consolidating your debt while getting a tax benefit. So Dr.
Yeah.
Briggs says, follow
Yes.
the prescription, go get it
If
done.
you need it, use it. If you need it, use it.
I
I
don't want
just
to see you back here again. I want you healthy,
yeah,
financially
exactly.
healthy, financially healthy.
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, I those are some of the same things I say too. I think one of the biggest problems is so many people are afraid that they're, maybe it's their mindset or how they're programmed is that they're going to treat that if they put it on their house, they're going to do the same thing they do with their credit cards, and they're just going to keep going bigger and bigger. But they don't understand exactly what you said is that and a financial advisor will tell you different, but I'm going to tell you that this is the biggest tool that you have for most people that we have to
oh yeah,
leverage debt, leverage good debt. That's a good debt versus the bad debt. And all the ROIs you just talked about, the tax benefits, the appreciation, the equity, the pay down, all that stuff is something you're not going to get by procrastinating and thinking you're going to fix the by yourself. I mean, we know, I don't know, is it still like 72 years if you pay minimum payments on a credit card that you actually get it paid off or something like that?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So, and people say, I'm not going to do that. And then they do it. So I think a lot of fear holds people back. But if they actually understand and educate that, like I said, I get the tax break, I'm paying it down, I'm on a plan to actually do this the right way where I won't get back into this other plan, which is I'm maxed out and I can't afford it. And then they adjust your credit cards to 24.99, like most of them nowadays. And you're like, I really can't afford it right now.
Right.
Your mortgage hopefully is on a fixed rate and it's not going to change. So should you
Well,
use it? I agree 100%. If you're in that position, like I said, if you don't have debts or anything like that, then no. But
well, I'll give you. Well, I'll give you another reason why you should do it if you have no debts. I'll give you a perfect reason why you should do it if you have no debts. If you have no debts and you have this house, and let's say your house is almost paid off or paid off, it's paid off, it's free and clear. Now, you want to earn money, you want to make some money. Okay, well, you could sell your house, but then where are you going to go? And if you sell your house, what happens, Jared, when you sell your house and it's appreciated over time? What do you got to pay?
capital gains.
Capital gains. How would you like tax free income? Tax free income, here's how you do it: refinance your house, take the cash out. Maybe you don't pay your debts with it. Do whatever you want with it. Go on vacation, invest in a business, put it, you could take it and put it in a high yield savings account. You could put it in the stock market. You put it in a retirement account, but it's tax free. And people always ask me, and I think we talked about this last time, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, the richest of the rich people, everybody's like, they don't pay taxes, they don't pay taxes. Well, yeah, there's a system out there to not pay taxes. They have assets, they have stock, they have corporations, they have property. They borrow against that, and it's a loan. That loan is that proceeds is tax free. They don't
Mm-hmm.
pay tax unless they sell their stock, they sell their property, they sell their corporation. So they never sell. They don't care if the stock goes up or down. They're borrowing against it. And same thing with you and your house. You can go up, it can come down, but borrow against it, receive that tax-free income. Uh, that's powerful, powerful stuff. And if people say, "Well, I just want to wait," I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to pay off my bills. I'm going to wait. Well, just think: every day you wait, your debt goes up, your interest goes up. Now you've got a bigger problem to solve. So it's like, don't wait. You don't have to think about it too much. This is the science of what mortgage lending is. It's not
Yeah.
the art, right? The art is maybe, how you talk to people, how you present yourself or your brand or your, the value proposition or the speed. That's kind of the art of it. The science of it is this is the math that is proven, right? And it works, use it. So, I would say more reasons than just, consolidating debt and all that business. I'd say you could use, if you're all paid off, your house rich, and, you're looking for a tax-free income stream, you can draw it. And then what happens, right? Well, you're like, well, I'm paying an interest rate. I have to then pay this interest rate, 5-6%. Okay. Mortgage interest credit that you apply back on your taxes. So now you've just mitigated it back down. And if you
Yeah.
use that money smartly, you've done what? You've put it in the market, you've bought a business, you've done something, another appreciating asset. You've used it maybe to buy another home, make income. So even though your rate might be 5 or 6% on that money, you've got a tax advantage on a mortgage interest credit, and you've invested it. And like, think about if you just invested it in a CD. If you invested it in a CD at 4% and you borrowed at 6%, your effective rate on that money is 2%, right? And you're going to do a
Mhm.
lot better than that if you go in the stock market or something like that. So I
Yeah.
highly encourage tax-free refi income, baby.
Yeah,
Dr.
exactly.
Dr. Briggs.
I was gonna bring that point up because that's how a lot of, that's how exactly how investors do it, how the rich do it. And that's why I said earlier, it's a how you leverage it, and it's a good debt. A good debt is one that you could use to make money, like you just said. If the stock market's what, 8 to 9% on average, usually on the return.
Sure.
Let's just say you do that one. I mean, there's a thousand different ways you can invest. You make 8%, you borrow it at 6%, you make a 2% spread, not counting the tax credit, not counting the appreciation, not counting all the other ROIs that we talk about. You actually make your money make money. That is good debt. Credit card money won't make money unless you're using it for a business that's going to have a big return or something like that. So, or your savings, right? Like people are like, I want to use my own money.
My
Why?
own
Cash is
money.
always king. Cash is
Your
king,
your
baby.
your equity is your money.
Yeah, this is exactly. It's your money. Let it work for
Your
you.
equity is your money. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for us, it's simple, right? We do this. We live in this space every single day, but it's hard. It's scary for people. It's scary, and it's because the information is mixed. You go out and you go, who's the guy in Tennessee? Um,
Ramsey,
yeah, Dave Ramsey. He'll come out and he tells people what? He tells them all kinds of stuff, right?
save your
Don't do this,
money.
don't do that, you know, why you shouldn't, but
Yeah.
he's never an advocate for leveraging assets. Pay everything off, you don't have cash, don't buy it, so on and so forth. Um,
Well,
I
it's a
think,
difference if you want to be simple or you want to be smart.
well, that was great in 1950. It was great in 1950. In today's world, I think we know and know better. It's leveraging assets. You don't have a record number of billionaires and millionaires in this country and in the world, um, because they just sat there and paid everything with cash. Every single one of them has leveraged assets to grow, whether they're a real estate investor or whatnot. They've all leveraged assets to grow. I'm going to give you an interesting statistic, my friend Jared. You're going to love this.
All right,
Today's
let's
the
hear it. I love
18th.
it.
Today
I
is
love
the
stats.
18th. It is the 18th of October.
October.
And NVIDIA, we all know NVIDIA, so you guys know
Oh
stock a
yeah.
little bit. The closing price of NVIDIA on October 18th, 40, we're going to call it $41.39.
All right.
41.39. And if we took $10,000 cash out of our house, okay, if we took $10,000 out of our house and we bought $10,000 worth of NVIDIA at 41.39, we had 241 shares of NVIDIA. So that 10,000 today, 241, right at this moment, 138.27, 38.27. Your 10,000 would be worth $33,323 if you bought 1 year ago today $10,000. Now, what return? What rate of return is that? So 33,000, 33,000
300.
divided by 10,000 should, I mean, 330%
Yep.
return on your money. But I paid 6% in my mortgage and 2 points.
I know. I
It,
know some
it's
people
it,
that sold
it
a house and
it's
put
a good
half the money into
trade-off. I'm just saying. So again, that's not for everybody. That is not for everybody. But it's a great example of, you know, how the how to use your asset, and how to build wealth. I think that's the thing. People come to a mortgage banker and they're like, I want to lower my rate, I want to lower my payment, right? That's it, right? We have to, as professionals, as a doctor, as a
it. As
as
a
a
doctor,
PhD, as a
Dr. Briggs.
doctor, we have to kind of step back and show, what's the difference between a mortgage banker and a professional mortgage banker, right? A mortgage banker will take your application, will run your credit, he will run DU, he will tell you what you qualify for, and he will give you what you ask for, um, and he will get you closed in a timely manner. That's a good mortgage banker. A mortgage professional will look at your entire financial situation. Um, he will do all the things that the regular guy did, um, but they'll look beyond that. They'll find ways to help you build and grow wealth. They'll find ways to get you
A plan.
financial freedom.
Yeah,
Uh,
put you in a plan.
they will do a lot more. So you can call some of these big box lenders out there, and they're great. They're incredibly efficient and proficient, and they'll check the box and move the widget down the assembly line. But if you really want the next level, get it, get it with us. With a real professional. And the crazy part is, not only does it not cost as much, it costs less. Sometimes it's less. I mean, they have to pay for their stadiums. I mean, think about this. If you're getting a mortgage from a company that has a stadium, and I'm calling it out. I'm throwing the gauntlet out. How do they pay for that stadium? With
They refinance
marketing?
to take all that money out and invest in that stadium
That's
with
right.
a higher
I don't
return.
have a stadium. When I have a stadium, I'm charging too much. Okay, I can't afford a stadium because we're giving good deals. I can't afford a
Yeah,
stadium. I can't afford to buy a sports team because we're giving good deals to good people every day. And you know what? I'm 100% fine with that. If I want to go to a stadium, I'll buy a ticket, like everybody
exactly.
else.
Well, you know what I think of when you use that analogy there, right? The professional, like if you want a mortgage banker, or let me put this out there for people who are in the mortgage business. If you are just a mortgage banker, you are not valuable and you are replaceable, because I can go look that up on the internet and find out that information. But if you want a professional, you have to add value. You have to be able to set that plan out and give perspective to people that don't know that, or just think on the surface of what we know. It's almost like looking at social media and you only see the surface, like everybody's a billionaire after 1 week, but we don't know what the real
Mm.
plan was and how they got there. So for the professionals out there, be a professional. Make sure
Yeah.
you have value and help people out the right
Yeah.
way, just like we are talking about, like what we want to do. We don't have stadiums, we want to help people.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you're
Otherwise, get ready to get replaced.
dude, and if you're a mortgage banker, you should be scared about AI.
Yeah,
If you're not a professional, you need to be scared about AI, because AI, if I give it dictation, it will run the algorithm and it will complete the application. It could run the credit, it could put a score in, you can AI is advancing so quickly that it can do that, almost that front end process. Now, it may not be able to persuade a person yet, and maybe it can, but it's pretty darn far away from doing what a mortgage professional can do, which is evaluate the whole situation and really kind of go at it with the mindset of, how do I give this person financial freedom, financial independence? How do I help improve their life? How do I give them an income stream? How do I, you know, save them money? And how do I get them additional properties and assets? Right? How do I do all that? That's where a mortgage professional is great. But AI can come in, and like I said, if I was a mortgage banker, I'd be worried if by getting replaced by a chatbot. You
Yeah.
know,
No,
you're
I
going to
like I
have
said,
to
I
up
think
your game. You're going to have to up your game. If you're out there right now, and you're you're great because you're doing a lot of transactions, you know, just know that, if you're just doing, FHA streamlines, which is a great product, but it's a simple math equation. There's no
AI can do that job. Yeah.
AI can do it. AI could do it. I mean, it's a matter of plugging in the information, the computer spits out the answer, and it goes on down the road. There's no real discussion about other options. We're just trying to check a box, and there's a place for that. And if you're a
Hmm.
mortgage banker and you've been living off of that, that's great. But I can tell you, 10 years from now, you will not be doing FHA streamlines. A computer will be.
Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
prediction. That's my future cast.
That's
You know,
I like it. Nomadeus? How do I say it? Did I say it right?
No, Amadeus is. I think he was. That was a. It was a Beethoven, right? Was
Notre Damus or Brigadamus? Oh,
Nostradamus. There you go.
Briggsadamus. There we
Right.
go.
That's
Something like
right. That's right.
that. Yeah. So, like I said, and I think that's important to note. Like I said, and even for consumers, right? Like if I'm doing a streamline, which is literally what you said, plug and play features, benefits, exact amounts, that's great. But for most people, like how many? Let's just think back. How many clients have you dealt with that were cookie cutter versus how many that were not?
Very few. I think. Oh,
95% of deals have something come up, a condition, a credit.
everybody, everybody's got something, man.
Yeah.
I work at I have a W. I get a W-2. Great. Let me see your pay stubs. It's a handwritten pay stub. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to talk to your accountant, right? I mean, it's little things, like you think it starts out easy, and then you're like, oh yeah, but my cousin's on the loan with me. What? Your cousin? Okay, where do they
Yeah.
live?
What's that debt? I don't know
What's
that one.
that debt?
Let's get a literal explanation. What were
Oh
these
yeah, and
increases?
and oh yeah, just a quick housekeeping note. If you're in the middle of a transaction, whether you're buying a house or refinancing a house, don't buy a new car or anything until after the transaction's over. I
I've
just
said it
had
many
somebody
times.
rack up a $35,000. They were so excited with their savings, they went and bought a generator solar system for 35,000, which threw out their debt ratio, which
No go. Yeah.
no
Yeah,
go.
that's important for everybody out there. And I've put that in bold letters on emails. I've sent reminders, and still, I think emotionally people get excited about it. Like, you can't do that, guys. We
You're
need
like,
to
dude, I'm saving
protect you.
500. I'm gonna go spend 1,000 a month.
And that's how you got in this position in the first place. So that's what we want to try to educate not to do. We're, like I said, leverage the debt, but let somebody talk to you so you know what not to do. And by
Yeah,
the way, if I'm talking to you about that, I'm going to record that. So if you mess up and you go off plan in a year from now and ask for another
100%.
refinance, I'm going to be like, do you remember when we talked about a year ago? Here's the recording. You went
Here's the
off
recording.
plan.
1,000%,
But
man.
yeah, but no, I think
1,000%.
that's good. I mean, like I said, think biased or non-biased, you need to use it. You need to leverage the tools that you have and take care of debts or utilize cash or get, tax-free cash or whatever it is if you have that equity, because we have got so much. I mean, and here's another stat I saw yesterday morning. People are going to keep adding to their debt. I mean,
Well,
people use credit cards for Christmas last year. Am I allowed to say that these days? I don't know,
you
but
can, I can. The holiday
okay, good. I'm
season.
going to say
For
it
the
anyways. I
holiday
don't care.
season. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
whichever
fine.
whatever you want to call it. People that use the credit cards last year, 27% of them still have that same debt on their credit cards, and they're going to rack it up again this year.
Well, think about this. What does the federal government do every day, probably every year, every day? They print more money. They print money. They make it out of thin air. Um, but you could say that the economy is appreciating, therefore they can print the money. Your house is printing money. You just don't see it. Your house is printing money. Your asset is going up, just like the economy grows, the government prints more money, you know, and love it or hate it. That's how it works. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Is that what they say?
Yeah. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Use it, you lose it. So, here, I mean, think about it. Your house is printing money. Now, the good part is the government can't tell you what to do with it. Not yet, anyway. You can choose. You can decide. You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want with it, and that's the deal. Your house is printing money, and you're the budget committee and the treasury department, and you are everything wrapped up in one, and you can allocate that any which way you choose. So we exist as mortgage professionals as the conduit to that, right? You have the asset and you have the plan. We're the conduit. We put it together, make it happen, put it in your hand, and that's how we exist, and that's why we take it seriously, and we consider ourselves professionals, not just chatbots. Although we chat a lot,
Exactly.
although we
No.
are pretty chatty.
Yeah, I can chat all day. I've been that way for 20 whatever
Mhm.
years I've been doing this, and I will probably still be that way till I die, till the deathbed. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think the message here is, like I said, should you use it? Yeah, probably. If you're uncertain, you should probably talk to a professional and don't assume you know it because somebody told you or you read it online or you saw it on a social media 30-second post or whatever the case is. Talk to somebody because we're all different. We all have different plans. We all have a different strategy that we need to use, a different reason or a purpose for it. Take advantage of what you have. I mean,
Well,
don't have a repetitive cycle that keeps you in a bad position that you can never get out. And when people say that to me all the time, I feel like I can't get out. I'm drowning. Well, you're not doing anything different.
well, right. And if you wait, and procrastinate, it festers. It worsens. The problem doesn't get better. I mean, I think it's like, are you waiting for a life event, to happen? Or you're going to inherit money? You're going to win the lottery? Um, what is going to be different that you shouldn't do it today? It's like with the election, and we'll kind of maybe wrap up with that. I don't know who's going to win the election, and it doesn't really matter. I'm going to make mortgages November 3rd, or excuse me, November 4th, 5th, 6th. Those are election days or weeks or whatever. I'm going to make mortgages every day, no matter who wins, whether I like it or not. I'm going to do mortgages, and I'm going to help people. Um, Not addressing your problem because you think the outcome is going to be different because someone is elected or not elected. I think that's silly, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
why it's silly. Um,
False hope.
yeah, it's a hope of what, right? Because regardless of who it is, whether the person let's just say the person you wanted gets in, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think interest rates are going to go falling down? Right? Do you think the economy is going to take off and all of a sudden you're going to become a multimillionaire working at your 9 to 5 job? It, Chances are no. Chances are no. But let's just say you go ahead and you do a loan today, and your person comes in office, and all of a sudden rates drop by 100 basis points, right? And that's a lot. Um, Refinance. Do a rate and term refinance, right? We talked a lot about cash. Do a rate and term refinance. Let me give you the flip side. You go ahead and you do the loan today, and the person you didn't want to get elected gets elected. And let's just say that person caused interest rates to go through the roof. Who just got a good deal? You, baby. You got a good
Yes.
deal. And I gave it to you. And I gave it to you. So
And I gave
remember
it to
that.
you.
It doesn't matter. And again, I'm not being political in either way, either direction, either party, either candidate. I do not care. I care about you. I care about me. And I take pride in what we do. And like I said, if you wait, you lose. You lose.
Yeah.
So no, there's nothing to wait for. Take advantage of it now. And if you refinance in November, you're going to skip your December payment. You're going to have a skip pay, no payments till 2025.
That's always good during the holiday season.
The
So,
holiday season.
yeah,
Holiday
exactly.
season. Now,
No,
it's good stuff, and we're very blessed to be able to do this for a living. So,
yeah, no, I love the fact that we get to help people to hopefully get them in better situations. That's the idea. And as the old saying goes, when was the best time to do this? Yesterday. When's
yesterday,
the second best
second,
time? Right
today,
now.
right now.
Exactly, right now. So Awesome, Mike. Yeah, I know we had other questions, but I think this was a good conversation that we got to dig, drill deep a little bit on
Yep.
this, and hopefully it'll help people like make a decision or to stop procrastinating, or to at least get professional knowledge from somebody as what they should do. So I thank you for this, Dr.
You're welcome.
Briggs.
Follow
And
follow your doctor's orders, please.
awesome. Thanks, guys. Check you out later.